Hello and welcome to another episode of Accessible Airwaves.
This program is dedicated
to the education and exploration of disabled life,
giving voice to the life and experience of people with disabilities.
We cover a wide array of issues and disabilities.
We are people who discuss issues we are passionate about
And topics we are interested in.
We show how disability is in the mind of the beholder.
I'm your host, Adam Cairns. I interview JS Ryu, the CEO of Indefinite Arts here in Calgary. The Indefinite Arts program for the disabilities who want to showcase their artwork in Calgary and around the world. Here is our interview. So, welcome to the show there, JS Ryu.
Thank you for having me.
No worries. What is Indefinite Arts and where is it located?
Indefinite Arts Center is located in southeast Calgary in the community of Fairview. We are actually Canada's oldest and largest disability arts organization. We were founded in 1975, and today we support more than 300 artists living with physical and or developmental disabilities through all elements of artistic creation, training, exhibition, and the presentation of their works both locally and around the world.
How is Indefinite Arts adapting to COVID-19?
Obviously, it's an ongoing challenge for so many of us, either in the disability sector or in the art sector, which our center, of course, sort of strides both of those realities. For us, however, what was really important was that we needed to engage with as many of our artists as possible. Your listeners might appreciate and know that, for so many Calgarians living with disabilities, isolation and mental health challenges, they exist even in the best of times. So COVID-19 really heightened those challenges for the people that we serve as an organization. And so within 2 weeks, we launched probably about 7 different types of programs that would be taken online into a virtual setting, as well as phone support and the provision of artist supply kits that we call flex kits on a monthly basis. And so through these programs, we've been able to keep supporting close to 95% of the artists that regularly would receive support from us. And so that level of engagement has been consistently quite high, and we've been able to support our artists to be the amazing artists that they are.
Oh, that sounds amazing. And you just mentioned your Flex Kits. What's the Flex Kit and what's in them?
Flex Kit, I would probably have to defer to some of our other team members who can explain to you the different sort of historical inspirations behind the Fluxus movement. Mm-hmm. But what it is actually are these interestingly equipped supply kits that revolve around certain themes and inspire our artists to think about adapting their work using the supplies that are in these kits. And so, as I mentioned, we send these kits out on a monthly basis. They're all sort of packaged in a box. They have different kinds of supplies each month, different kinds of pieces. I mean, I saw a Flex Kit with little planter vases in them that artists would be encouraged to decorate and paint over, and they would have other kinds of interesting sort of knickknacks. One of the last Flex Kits I saw had a sewing kit in it, so it would get our artists to think about how they would incorporate stitching into their artistic practice. So these kits have been amazingly popular, and I think the next one is going out either next Friday or the Friday after that, but we have a huge assembly line going to get one out for the month of August as well.
That sounds amazing. Browsing on your website and social media, you have many examples of your artist's artwork, and it looks like some single pieces art is different. It appears you encourage many, many different styles and mediums. How conscious is your effort to not go with the cookie cutter template approach?
Oh, that's such a great observation, and what is paramount in the way that we deliver our support for our artists is that our artists get to choose, right? It's what we call a very self-directed program. And so we certainly work with our artists in inspiring them to think differently and to adapt new ideas in their artistic practice. But at the heart of it, it is about what the artist envisions and what the artist would like to create. And we help facilitate that process. And to your point, what that creates is such a wide diversity of works that are created using a wide variety of mediums as well. Our studio, when it reopens, which will happen in just a few weeks, is a fully equipped visual arts space where everything that you can imagine in the visual arts can happen at Indefinite Arts Center, whether that is stitching and fiber art to 2D and 3D works. We even have our own kiln room, and now lately we've been moving into more of the digital space as well. And so we are fully equipped to be able to help make our artists' visions a reality through their practice.
Mm-hmm. I get you. You were mentioning your art stations. What kind of stations do you have? You were mentioning panel and doing pottery and 3D art and 2D art. So what else do you have?
I think that covers most of it. I mean, again, with the 3D, we're talking about, ceramics works. 2D, we also, have a lot of our artists working with Venetian plaster to make sort of 3D works in that realm as well. Your typical sort of 2D studio, as well as fiber arts, which is a very popular part of our artist practice as well. Mm-hmm. What is also really interesting, though, is we absolutely encourage our artists to move across those mediums, and some of their works actually combine different forms, right? So you'll have a piece that starts off with 2D but has 3D elements that are put on top of it, making it for a very, very extravagant, very extraordinary pieces of work.
Oh, cool. That sounds awesome. What are some of your clients' favorite art pieces to do?
As I mentioned, I think fiber is pretty popular. It is so tactile, and I think that's something that our artists absolutely appreciate about fiber art. But of course, 2D is really popular as well. The fact that they can take a canvas, take paint, take markers, whatever other kind of tool that they'd like to use, and just start transposing, what they would like to create onto a canvas is such a magical thing to watch, and that is also a very popular form. Interestingly, we have a number of artists who have vision loss and have blindness who are adapting to 2D or visual arts practice. And so to see that is quite extraordinary. But I don't know if one particular medium is popular than another. As I said, most of our artists actually go across all mediums, and they really like to experiment, which is something that we absolutely promote within our studio.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha. What's been the public's obsession with disability arts? Have you shift or change in recent years in the public reactions?
Absolutely. I often tell people that Calgary, Canada, has been quite behind the eight ball when it comes to the support and promotion of art by artists who identify as having a disability. When we look at our sister organizations in the States or in other places around the world where we've actually engaged in many partnerships, there is a very much more, what's the word I'm looking for, sort of a broad-based appeal, and at the same time sort of this infrastructure that exists to support the promotion and the advancement of the artistic practice of people with disabilities. And so I think Canada is a little bit late to the game. That being said, so many of our efforts as Canada's largest disability arts organization, have been so well received locally and across the country. We had, for example, a residency initiative at Contemporary Calgary, which exists in the old planetarium space. And when we held our open studios event, inviting the public to come see what our artists are doing at this amazing space, we had, to my count, I believe it was about 300 plus individuals coming out on a pretty frigid Saturday to spend time with our artists and getting to know their practice and really appreciating what it is that they're doing as artists. And so I think we're getting there. I think really, I'm proud to say that Indefinite Arts Center is really taking the lead on changing those perceptions and inspiring those conversations about artists living with disabilities.
Yeah. And you just mentioned, though, you've been incredible opportunities to showcase your exhibits, your art studio around Calgary and around the world. Can you tell me where some of the art is showcased?
Sure. In the past 2 to 3 years, I'm losing track now, but I think 2 years now, we've had our artists' works on display in places like Hong Kong and Seoul, Korea. Earlier this year, even in the midst of COVID, we had several of our artists' works be on display in New York. Last year, in 2019, we had 2 artist residencies where we actually sent a number of our artists overseas to Dubai and later in the year to Guadalajara. And in both locales, we actually had exhibitions of our artists' works as well. Indefinite Arts Center is actually the first Canadian arts organization to be installed at the Dubai International Airport, which actually is the world's busiest. So we've had a whole, broad scope of exhibitions in all parts of our world.
Oh, wow. Holy moly. So they've been everywhere.
Yes, absolutely. And I think it's been important for us to be a part of that international conversation. As I said, there are many countries where they are many, many steps ahead of ours in terms of how they support and showcase artists with disabilities. So to be able to be in those locations, to be inspired by those countries, to learn from them, for our artists to be able to collaborate with them, it's been a tremendously eye-opening and rewarding experience for us as an organization, but also for our artists.
That sounds amazing for you guys. Do you have any upcoming exhibitions that you can tell me about?
Sure. We actually did get funding from Canada Council for the Arts, and we had started to engage in a conversation with our Foreign Affairs Ministry to launch our new residency and exhibition initiative in partnership with a sister organization in Osaka, Japan. Unfortunately, of course, due to COVID, that's been postponed, but we're still excited about getting that going when the COVID hopefully subsides. I'm also really excited to share with you that, going along this international theme, Indefinite Arts Center has been working with our Foreign Affairs Ministry in securing a number of our artists' works to be basically acquired by our Foreign Affairs Ministry so that those works could then be exhibited and displayed in embassies and ambassadors' residences around the world. And so the details of that are still to be finalized, but I encourage all of your listeners to stay tuned because that's going to be another huge milestone that we would have accomplished for our artists as an organization.
That sounds amazing. Since having this job, what is the best parts about your job?
I think the best part of my job, bar none, is the opportunity to prove people wrong. What a great thing for your ego, actually. When you're going out and you're talking about your mission and the mandate of this amazing organization, and you face people who still have doubts. Your listeners know that there are still so many remarkably bizarre misconceptions about people with disabilities and what they can or can't do, what they should or shouldn't do. And to be able to engage in conversations where just through the work that your organization is doing and through the work that your artists are doing, you're able to prove them wrong. That no, actually, artists with developmental disabilities, their works can stand strong beside other mainstream contemporary art pieces. Absolutely, we can send artists with disabilities abroad, and they can come back as much more advanced and much more developed artists. Testing and I think bashing down a lot of those misconceptions and again proving people wrong, I think has been one of the most rewarding parts of my job, and using the power of the arts to uplift a community of remarkable artists, and at the same time having that opportunity to engage in those conversations about what is possible when we give people with disabilities the opportunities and the platforms to be able to showcase and create, has been a tremendous honor and a privilege as CEO of this organization.
It sounds amazing, and why not just to say to everybody, here's art that people have disabilities and can just show off to the world and to Calgary itself.
Yes, absolutely, and it's not about being patronizing to what we're doing. It really is about giving our artists the same opportunities and the same platforms that any other, able-bodied or non-developmentally disabled artist has, right? And that's why we're doing those international exhibitions. That's why we're connecting them with public art opportunities in the city of Calgary and getting them, $1,000 commission checks, giving them opportunities to sell their work so that, like other artists, they're actually able to generate an income and be better engaged in their communities through their creativity. And so it's really about trying to create an equal, equitable playing ground for artists who have disabilities.
How do you connect with your new artists to join your program?
Well, unfortunately, given sort of the constraints of funding and our staff, we actually have a fairly extensive wait list. We encourage our prospective artists that are out there to either reach out directly to us where we can identify ways in which they could join our program, or for listeners who have a developmental disability and maybe a client of PDD, to reach out to their PDD support worker and identify opportunities to get onto our wait list. For the longest time, actually, we were only open for 4 days a week. And so we had a wait list that probably stretched to close to 200 individuals. And they were waiting anywhere between 2 to 3 to 4 years to get into our program. In 2018, we actually started opening on Fridays. And so that wait list has shrunk a little bit, but the demand is still there. So we ask people to remain patient with us, but be engaged with us and connected with us, especially during these times.
I gotcha. And JS, a little bit off-topic question for you, but wasn't old Calgary Science Center be turned into a new art gallery? That was a rumor I heard a while ago.
Oh, you mean the planetarium actually has opened into a gallery. So they opened earlier this year, and as I mentioned earlier, we have about, I can't remember the number of artists now. I think close to 80 of our artists actually took over that space in early January and actually we held a residency program in that space. So that space is now called Contemporary Calgary. It's actually a spectacular space. I'm not sure if they've reopened, but at the time when they were open, they had some amazing pieces of art from a lot of Calgary artists. And again, many of our artists actually took over that space and was able to engage in a very rewarding and very thought-provoking residency opportunity there.
Yeah, gotcha. And can you tell me a little bit more about the Calgary Hospital call for artwork and how your artists come through to donate the artwork?
Through our virtual programs, so many of our artists actually had asked us, how can we contribute? How can we use our creativity and our artwork to give back? And there were a lot of ideas that were sort of percolating in our minds. And one day we came across a news article where a group of volunteers were leading this initiative to bring artwork into this temporary COVID wing of the Peter Lougheed Hospital. And once we saw that, we pitched that to our artists and asked them that they'd be interested. And let me tell you, the response was absolutely overwhelming. I can't remember the number of art pieces that have been submitted, but it was pretty extraordinary. And I'm proud to say that pretty much, many of those works have been delivered to the Peter Lougheed, and I'm sure are adorning the walls of that temporary space right now, which is so meaningful that we're able to get our artists who have yearned to give back that opportunity to give back, and for patients and family members who are undoubtedly going through such trying times right now, to give them at least a little bit of brightness in their lives through art is just a win-win for everybody.
That is truly true. I will agree with that. How can our listeners follow what your organization is doing right now?
I encourage everybody to certainly follow us on basically all the popular social media channels, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Search us at Indefinite Arts, or you can visit our website, which is ouriac.ca. That's short for Our IAC, or Our Indefinite Arts Center.ca, and follow us. Like our artist works. If you see something that you absolutely love, make a comment and share that with us so that we can then in turn share that with our artists as well. But we have a very active social media presence. We're updating all of our channels pretty much daily with everything that we're doing. So we encourage everybody to follow us.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, so we'll for sure do that. Did we miss anything we didn't discuss on?
I just think Calgarians overall should be really, really proud and should be quite excited about the fact that Calgary is home to Indefinite Arts Center. Obviously, I'm biased, so I'm excited. But I think the fact that Calgary is home to the country's oldest and largest disability arts organization, that Calgary is home to an organization that is, even through COVID, working to support hundreds of artists living with developmental and physical disabilities, I think is something that Calgarians should absolutely take note. And if there is an opportunity, absolutely, again, follow us on social media, follow us on our website, but think about ways that you can support us. And that's not simply a call for donations. Obviously, I lead a charity, so if people want to donate, I'll take those donations. But more importantly, we have different initiatives where people can purchase our artists' works. We're going to be unveiling a few more merchandise items that can be purchased that have been designed by our artists. There are so many different ways that people can engage with us, but I think ultimately people should be really proud and really, really aware of the fact that we are home to this remarkable organization.
Well, I will totally agree with you with that one, because it sounds amazing that you have we have this Indefinite Arts that is pretty close to most of us who live in Calgary, and it's pretty easy to get to.
Yeah.
True.
Absolutely.
True. Thank you for joining me there, JS.
Thank you so much for the opportunity, and hope to talk to you again soon.
That was me interviewing JS Ryu, the CEO of Indefinite Arts, over the phone. For more info, you can find them on ouriac.ca. The Indefinite Arts Center is Canada's oldest and largest disability arts organization, providing artistic training, creation, and exhibition opportunities for people with mental, physical, and acquired disabilities. Next up, we have Rayn, an artist from the Indefinite Arts program. He talks about what kinds of artwork that he does and why he joined the Indefinite Arts program. So Rayn, what is your favorite art medium to use, like paint, watercolor, or any other artworks do you use?
drawing, stitching, and painting.
Why did you want to join Indefinite Arts in the first place?
Because I love art.
When did you start art?
When I very little.
Do you have a favorite piece of artwork you're most proud of? If so, can you describe it?
Heartland. It have horses. Amy and Georgie is a ranch with horses and painting and some markers and stuff.
Is Heartland your favorite TV show, I'm guessing?
Yes.
Gotcha. So what do you think about your art instructors, like your teachers and your...
Usually they help me, guide me.
Also, I heard that a rumor that you guys get flux kits too.
Yes.
Could you describe what's in it?
Usually they have papers and paint and paintbrush and markers and watercolors.
And also you do it over Zoom and talk about your artwork over Zoom too, right?
Yeah.
What project are you working on right now, or what recent project you've finished?
Well, I finished 2 projects in one day. I finished 2 birthday cards.
Mm-hmm.
One is Harry Potter theme and Shawn Mendes for my family.
Okay, so you create birthday cards for free.
Yeah.
That almost could be like a business idea too.
And sometimes I do coloring. Sometimes I just draw on my own.
Okay. So you do a free drawing on your own.
Yeah.
Ah, gotcha. Okay. Do you use like crayons, pencil crayons kind of thing, or paint for these birthday cards?
Pencil crayons, that's it.
Okay.
And usually I use pencil too. So.
Good. Do your mom help you with some of your artwork? Is it mostly your teachers?
No, I did only do myself.
Have you used or tried other mediums, and can you tell me about them?
I did the Calgary frame pillow, and I did it by hand because I'm going to do this thing after.
Awesome. Did you thought of the design at first?
Yeah. Some the helpers help me to do designs and the color of the stitching and stuff.
Awesome. And did you pick out your own fabric and sew it yourself?
I did it by myself, but usually I need help.
That was me interviewing Rayn over the phone. We talked about his experiences at Indefinite Arts. You have been listening to Accessible Airwaves on CJSW 90.9 FM. You can follow Accessible Airwaves on Facebook. If you missed any episodes, you can go to cjsw.com or Spotify or any other podcast apps.